Between me and the clients that my agency works with, we have landed over 50 high-ticket clients directly from YouTube. But we didn't send a single cold DM, we didn't run expensive ads, or we didn't even chase viral videos. As business owners, we all know that the old way of getting clients is dying. Prospects are ignoring your cold emails, their DMs are getting flooded with automated spam, and they don't trust ads the way that they used to. But what they do trust is someone who has already spent 3 hours solving their exact problem on a video before they ever hop on a sales call. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how we use YouTube to replace outbound outreach entirely. I'm going to show you the push and pull strategy that we use to drive traffic, why being a micro niche channel is actually a massive advantage, and the 5 funnels that we use to turn viewers into book calls. So if you want an inbound system that actually works for you, this is the exact blueprint. Let's get into it. The first point is really just about giving unique value to the market. And this is like the main reason why some channels convert at a really high level, while some channels post for months and get no results at all. It comes down to the value that you're giving, not just good value, but unique value. So you're probably wondering, okay, but Marquise, how do you actually get this unique value? Well, there's so many different ways. For example, I myself, I've invested over 25K into mentorship programs, even like masterminds, right? Even programs, right? There's mentorships, masterminds, programs. I've invested so much money into these things just so I can be able to give you guys unique insights that you usually wouldn't hear because they're behind a paywall. And when you do that, when you give your audience this much unique value that they've never heard before because they haven't had the money to pay for it, or because they just really don't know about it, you stop being just another creator in a niche, you start becoming an industry leader. And you stand out by default because nobody's talking about this stuff for free. And the best performing clients that I work with right now all do the same thing. Or here's another example. You're probably wondering what's another way to get, unique value without having to spend a bunch of money. Well, you could do it by just running a big business or running a business in general and getting unique insights just like that. For example, I work with 6 and 7 figure clients, six and 7 figure businesses, right? And so they have lived the real experience. Or maybe even like clients. You're dealing with client work all the time. You see what's working for them, and maybe you can share some of that value in your actual videos. You don't have to spill all of the sauce, but you can give some sauce, right, about what's working. And by doing that, you also collect the real data, which most people just simply can't replicate. And so I myself, and even the best clients I work with, we all leverage this unique value in our content so that we can stand out by default. And this is really what makes content convert at a completely different level than everyone else. So let me know if you think there's more ways in the comments, but these are pretty much the main 2, like just mentorship, masterminds, and programs, spending money on getting into rooms or for people who are way ahead of you so you can learn from them, or just by learning by your experiences from working on your business. So before you ever think about funnels or thumbnails or algorithms, ask yourself, is the value that I'm giving people only value that they can get from me? Because you always want to stand out and be unique. If you're saying the same thing everyone else is, you can have the best looking channel in the world. People are going to see you as just another creator. They won't see you as an authority or industry leader. But this doesn't matter if you don't know how to pre-sell a viewer in the first place. So here's why that unique value actually pays off. This is going to be the YouTube market, right? And a lead from YouTube is fundamentally different from any other lead that you're going to get anywhere else. The same lead from a YouTube market is not going to be the same lead from an Instagram market, right? It's just so much different. It isn't going to be the same lead from a TikTok market. It's just so much different as well. And it definitely isn't going to be the same lead from an X market. That is just way too different. So when you're sending a cold DM, let's say on Instagram or X, you're interrupting someone's day. They have no idea who you are. They have zero trust with you. And because you're starting from zero trust, your entire sales call is going to be an uphill battle trying to prove to them that you're not a scam. But when someone books a call from YouTube, it's a little bit different. First, they're starting out at 0%, but at least they have the ability to move up to a 50% pretty fast too. And they have the ability to do that here as well, but it's going to take a long time, right? Especially on X, because one tweet can be like a 10-second read. And on IG, it's a little bit faster than X, but it still takes probably like a few months. But on YouTube, all they have to do is watch a few 30-minute videos. They're starting out at 0% trust, but they kind of like your content. So they're going to go from 0 to 50% in, let's say, like 4 or 5 videos. And then they can go to 100% trusting you after like 10 videos. And because the time to do this comes by so quickly, especially on YouTube, they're what I like to call a pre-sold viewer. By the time they hit your calendar, they've already watched like 2 to 5 hours of your content. They know your voice, they know your frameworks, and they already believe in your unique mechanism. So they're not going to hop on a call trying to figure out who you are, what you do, and if you're really a scam or not. Because they've watched these videos, they already resonate with you. They've seen the top of funnel content, middle funnel content, and bottom of funnel content where you actually get people results. And they know that you know what you're talking about. So they're hopping on a call to figure out how fast they can pay you to actually do what you did for other people for them. That is the power of this platform. So how do we get these people, our ideal clients, actually watching in the first place? Most people think it's when YouTube puts you on a recommended tab and you get really lucky, you get a lot of views. That's completely wrong. Although you will get a lot of traffic like that, a lot of discovery really happens off the platform. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean. We like to call this the push and pull strategy. So a lot of our clients already have a big audience on other platforms. For example, let's say on X, you have like 10K followers. On IG, let's say you have like 50K followers. And on LinkedIn, let's say 10K followers. So with an audience like this, you don't want to wait for people to just stumble across your channel. What you want to do is push them to your channel and then pull them in with your content. This is how we got the name push and pull. So you want them to go to YouTube so they can get nurtured much faster and actually binge watch your content, but you don't just want to do it by dropping a link and saying, go watch my video. Nobody's going to click that. What you want to do instead is create a mini funnel. On X, for example, you can create a thread telling people about, let's say, a story that you have, or let's say maybe a client result that you have. Or on IG, what you can do is maybe post a really engaging reel that gets people interested in watching the full thing, or maybe even a story sequence, but not the usual ones where it's just like click the link. What you want to have is, I'm not like an IG expert or anything. You know, you always have the hook, you have the value that you're going to provide, get people engaged, get people interested, and then you have the big payoff, which is going to be you giving the value, but they still want more of the value. So they're going to have to go to the payoff, which the payoff is going to be YouTube. And all this really is just essentially teasing the core concept. So you just want to tease the viewer. You're building curiosity natively on that platform, and then you just use YouTube or a YouTube video as your ultimate payoff. And just because they're on those platforms doesn't mean that their attention span is always really short. Hopefully they have a longer attention span to actually understand and want to fix their problem. And you push them to YouTube, which is a deep nurture environment where you can actually control the narrative. If you don't have an audience on other platforms, it is still possible to get high ticket clients from YouTube. It just takes a little bit longer. In that case, your entire growth strategy lives on YouTube itself. Top of funnel content for awareness, middle funnel content for trust, bottom of funnel content for generating sales. If you want a full breakdown of how the whole YouTube sales funnel works, click the card at the top right of the screen. It should pop up, but I go over the whole YouTube sales funnel there, and I talk about exactly how it's helped my clients generate over 160K in revenue. And now just a few days later, it's over 175K. Now, when people go to YouTube channel, what should they actually see? This is where most creators mess up. They try to make videos for everybody because they want 100,000 subscribers. But if you're selling a high ticket offer, you do not need that many. In fact, you really just need like 500 to 1,000 of the right people watching your channel. And we like to call this a micro niche channel. Pretty much what you would want here is to be hyper targeted. And then your videos are going to be talking to your target market. I'm going to talk about the difference. Target market is the market that you're trying to target, but your ICP or your ideal client is inside this target market. So your videos should be appealing to that ICP, and your bottom of funnel content and your middle funnel content, but your top of funnel content is going to be just the market that you're kind of targeting. Well, let's say you have all videos that are really top of funnel, really general, and they don't talk to your target market. But the thing is, with the micro niche channel, you just want to speak to your ideal client profile, which is why it's going to be extremely small. You might have like 50 subscribers, but keep in mind, these subscribers are way higher quality than you see on any other channel because you're so targeted. So instead of posting this top of funnel content, instead your main strategy will just be middle and bottom of funnel content. So for example, you'd make videos like how a B2B SaaS founder can make 50K plus a month only using LinkedIn. And that would be like really middle funnel. And then your bottom funnel content would probably just be case study breakdowns or client interviews. And this would literally be your only strategy, middle funnel and bottom funnel content and no top of funnel. But this is not a bad thing at all, because when your ideal client sees this, they're going to be like, okay, this person's actually just talking directly to me. They feel like the video is made specifically for them. And so they're going to feel completely understood. Your conversions are going to skyrocket. So don't be afraid to niche down. It's literally a cheat code, especially for high ticket sales on YouTube. Because if you keep the strategy, you're going to have, let's say, instead of 50 subs, you might have like 10K subs. But do they feel understood? No, they don't. Are your conversions going to go up? Definitely not. In fact, they're going to go down. So you can just stay niched and be a micro niche channel if you really want to push for conversions. But a lot of these people still do top of funnel content. It's totally fine. Just focus on middle and bottom of funnel content though. That's your main strategy. All right, so you have the traffic, you have the trust. Now you just need the conversion mechanism. So here are the 5 specific funnels that my agency and my clients use to turn views into high ticket clients. First is going to be the book to call funnel. And this one's pretty simple. It's pretty much just YouTube and you're sending them to a Calendly form or a landing page with the Calendly form or a booking form. Our client Jeff, who we've helped to generate over 20K in deals and close an 8K PIF on a 7-minute sales call, actually uses this funnel. We've been working with him since he had like 400 subs or something like that. It's pretty crazy. But this is probably the most simplest and most effective funnel that you can do, because in your bottom of funnel videos or at the end of any video, you can just tell them, click the link below to book a free call with me. It has no friction and it's super simple. So if you can't get this one to work, well, I'm not sure you can get any funnel to work, to be honest. Next one is going to be a Typeform funnel. And this one's pretty simple as well. It's pretty much just you sending people from YouTube to your Typeform page. And then from the Typeform page, there's going to be 2 conditional logics, right? If the person's qualified based off everything they filled out, then you want to send them to book a call. That means they're qualified, they're good to go. But if they're not qualified based off the answers that they provided you, then you just want to send them to a free resource or low to mid ticket offer. And then you can send them from there to a higher ticket offer. Our client Nick, who we've helped to generate over 50K in deals, uses this Typeform funnel. Because the thing is, especially for B2C, if you're getting too many unqualified leads, you just want to add a layer of friction to get them out of the book a call funnel. You just want to give them a free resource so you can keep nurturing them, or at least sell them on like a low ticket offer, and then just use the ascension path to scale them up to a high ticket offer. So this is pretty simple. You just say like, go apply to work with me. So you don't want to say book a call. You just want to use the word apply. This is very important. Now, the next one is going to be a lead magnet plus email funnel. This one's pretty interesting. I see a lot of people in the e-commerce niche use this, especially our client Jeff. This is also another funnel that he uses, not just the book a call one, but we have this one as well because the e-commerce niche is pretty sophisticated. And so these people really need a lot of nurturing to actually get thrown over the line. And so pretty much we have this funnel installed for Jeff as well. And then we funnel them into a lead magnet, which is pretty much just going to be either his newsletter directly, or usually it's a downloadable asset, or it can be even like a Notion/Google Doc. Bring all those people from the lead magnet and you just nurture them via email, right? If you have them in a newsletter already, then that's perfect. If not, you just want to throw their emails into like a nurture sequence, and then you can just close them from there and get the cash. By the way, another thing that you can do with these two funnels, this lead magnet plus Typeform funnel, if they fill it out and they don't complete the whole thing, you can still try to collect their phone number and email. Then you can just dial them up, right? Our client Nick does this all the time. And then you can just set a call from there and then close them on the call. It's pretty simple. They already showed a bit of commitment. You can get them over the line on an actual phone call. The fourth funnel is going to be a school community funnel. We've actually helped Elliot kind of with this school community, and he actually uses this funnel as well. As you can see, he has school community right there. And he also has a book a call funnel, which is good, but school community is going to get those people who want to be more nurtured and just want the free resource, but you can nurture them to a high ticket offer over time anyways. And so pretty much what this consists of is from YouTube, you send them to a school community. And that school community, there's two ways you can go about this. You can either send them to a free school community, which is like no friction at all. Then from there, they send it to a paid school community where you're giving more resources, more value, maybe more one-on-one support. And then from there, you can sell them to your high ticket offer. It's honestly pretty simple to do it from there because they already paid, they showed a bit of commitment. Another thing you can do is just send them from YouTube straight to a paid school community, and then from there to a high ticket offer, which is once again pretty simple because they already paid, they showed commitment. Now you just need to sell them on it a lot more and have a risk reversal. Honestly, I think that would be really good here too. And then the last funnel that I want to show you guys that our clients use to actually turn views into high ticket clients is the IGDM funnel. This one's pretty simple as well. You just need to hire some people, or you can do it yourself if you don't have a lot of value. So you send them from YouTube straight to IG. This is mainly for coaches. You're going to see a lot of coaches doing this because on IG, you can have a lot of pictures. You have IG stories, and you're selling people on the lifestyle, which is what a lot of coaches do. You're sending them from YouTube to Instagram. You can nurture them so much here, especially as a coach. And then from there, you just have either your setter, reach out to them, or two, you can just nurture them with your content. They're going to see your lifestyle. They're going to see how you live. They're going to see what they can achieve if they hire you to coach them on achieving that dream life that they want, that you have. 3, multiple touch points. Even if they don't buy from IG, it's totally fine. They might buy on YouTube. At least you have multiple touch points. They have YouTube, they're seeing your content. Now they have your Instagram, they're seeing your content. They can't go on any of those platforms without seeing your face on it. That's a good thing. So multiple touch points, or even 4, which is going to be lead magnets. From there, it's just going to lead to the email funnel, which is like you nurturing them via email, and it's more touch points anyways. These kind of combine a bit too. So you have YouTube, you have Instagram, and you have email, and you can just dial them up from the lead magnet in this column. So that's going to be pretty much an easy close from there. This is why coaches use the IGDM funnel so much. It works so well. So the strategy is simple. Give unique value that only you can give. Understand what a pre-sold prospect actually is. Push your existing audience directly to YouTube. Build a micro niche channel that speaks directly to your ICP's pain points, and use one of these 5 funnels to convert them into a book call. This is exactly how we've helped our clients generate over 175K in deals without sending a single cold DM. So if you want us to build out this entire system for your business, the strategy, packaging, scripting, editing, all of it, click the first link below to book a free strategy call with me. We only take on a handful of clients each month, so if you're serious, you don't want to wait. And if you want to go deeper on the YouTube sales funnel itself, click this video on screen right here because I go really in depth with it step by step. I'll see you over there.